I'm fascinated by why we so often do the things we don't want to do. Why? What's the attraction? Is it because we secretly want what we say we don't want or know we shouldn't be doing? Maybe. I'm not talking about serious addictions. I'm talking about things like eating too many Oreos or ice cream, about going on Facebook or YouTube, scrolling when we should be working or doing something else. Anything that is not useful or helpful. Maybe it's time to consider coming up with a do not do list to go along with our to-do list. Interested? Keep watching. Hello, I'm Phil Dean, and this is It's About Time. Do you keep a to-do list? I'm a list maker. I start each week with a week-ahead calendar, appointments, projects, workout schedules, etc. I find it a useful organizing process, and I enjoy putting a check mark down when something is accomplished. Recently, I heard someone talking about the benefits of having a do not do list. I was intrigued. Why would you need a do not do list? If you stayed focused on your to-dos, there shouldn't be any time left over for the other stuff, but that's not the way our brains work. Our ability to concentrate is finite. It's hard to stay focused on one thing for a long period of time. We are easily distracted. The moment our attention wanders, we're tempted to follow it. And if we're not clear about what we don't want to do, it can sneak up on us and bite us in the butt. Attention is our superpower. If you're a Harry Potter fan, think of Professor Snape, the Defense Against the Dark Arts professor. He was ordered to teach Harry something called occlumency, an obscure kind of magic to defend the mind against external penetration. His instruction: be prepared, be focused, concentrate. Think of the acronym HALT. When we're hungry, angry, lonely, or tired, we lose focus. We start checking our phones or doing anything to distract ourselves. For every do, there's a don't, and for every don't, there's a do. Both require our attention, and we need to know the difference. Our do not do list doesn't have to be extensive. It can contain anything that's not helpful, especially over the long term. Eating a candy bar or having a few cookies every now and then is no big deal, but do it a couple of times a day, every day, over a number of years, and you'll soon find out it is a big, bad deal. Many years ago, I was struggling to quit smoking. I used all the willpower I had, and it worked for a few days or weeks, sometimes even a few months. But whenever the stress went up or I was bored, it was easy to take a break and start smoking again. I'd learned that if I wanted to alter my mood or my state of mind, this worked. It could have been anything: eating a bag of cookies or having a few drinks. Whatever we repeat over a period of time becomes a habit. We often think of habits in terms of good and bad, but that makes a moral judgment. Try thinking in terms of, is this helpful or not helpful? If this goes against your religion, consider St. Paul. He struggled with this, and he wondered why he sometimes did the things he didn't want to do. He finally came to the realization that most things were permissible, but not all things were useful or helpful. And he vowed that he would not be enslaved by any of them. What worked for him, and ultimately for me, was to recognize that some behavior is unhelpful and should not be done, not because it's a sin, but because it's harmful. Laws don't set us free, but the truth does. When we know better, we tend to do better. Having a not-to-do list is not a list of laws that must never be violated. It's a reminder to pay attention to the things that get us in trouble It puts them on our radar, so to speak, so that they can't come out of nowhere and surprise us. If you'd like to know more about this, I have a couple of suggestions. I put links to several videos in the show notes. The first is a talk by James Clear, the author of Atomic Habits. His book has sold an astounding 15 million copies. Clear talks about how small changes at the atomic level can make huge differences over time. The second is a TED Talk by Dr. Judd Brewer. It has over 20 million views. Brewer is a psychiatrist and neuroscientist and the author of a book, The Craving Mind. His TED Talk is entitled A Simple Way to Break a Bad Habit. He recommends directing our full attention toward the habit we want to change. But instead of beating ourselves up, he says, be curious about why we do it and how it makes us feel. In other words, if we don't pay attention, it won't work for us. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel, give it a like, and leave a comment. I'd appreciate it. For It's About Time, I'm Phil Dean. I'll see you next time.